What's up, everyone? Today we are talking about arguably the strongest build for the Mist at the moment. One of the more popular ones, one you've probably seen in the Mist if you haven't seen any videos. We are talking about the double-bladed staff. So I'm going to go over the build, the specs you want to take. I'll also show some alternative to the gear pieces, some upgrades, because I'm currently running a bit of a lighter one. And so I'll kind of go over stuff that you can sub certain pieces out for. I'll also kind of talk about this build. While it's really strong in Mist, you can also run in corrupted dungeons if you want to do that. And some adjustments I would recommend maybe doing for that if you're interested. But either way, we're going to cover the build to get into it, and then after I walk through everything, I have some clips and such of me using this build so you can actually see how it plays out and all that. So without further ado, let's talk about the double-bladed staff. This is the build. We'll be rocking double blade staff, cultist cowl, stalker jacket, and scholar sandals with the Avalonian cape. The headpiece and chest piece you can swap out, and I'll go into those when I cover those specific pieces. But for the double bladed staff, this is what we're rocking. You rock the second ability, Whirling Strikes. It does a little physical damage as you are able to kind of move while doing this, and you also will reduce the ability's cooldown when you hit at least one enemy. It can stack up, and so this is what the ability looks like. As you can see, it kind of just spins around as you're chasing people. You can activate it to keep being mobile because mobility in the Mist is so important. For the second ability, we are going to run Stun Run, increase your movement speed by 30%, and then you will stun the enemy. This is great for chasing people, as if I'm chasing them, I can run up and stun them. This also will allow you to get your Avalonian cape proc off, which is really nice to be able to get that off. It also is good for escape, just to have the movement speed. Or if you're trying to run from someone, they jump on you, you can W, hit them, and then run away. So it gives you some flexibility in which option you want to go. Of course, the E is going to be Soaring Strike, or Soaring Swipe. If you guys saw the notes, this is getting nerfed here in a little bit. Right now, the cooldown is around 15 seconds at 14.25 it shows. It's getting bumped up to 18 seconds. It's a slight nerf. It will hurt a bit of chase or flee potential of this build, but honestly, it's really not the biggest deal. It's in my opinion like a 30-second nerf. It could be a pain here and there with the chasing or fleeing, but overall you just gotta use this ability a bit more strategically and the build's still fine. But you leap, you deal damage, slows enemies. That's what it looks like. It has a very long range, so very, very useful. And then lastly, we take Energetic, because this build does consume energy pretty fast between what you're using and your spamming of your Qs and everything. It does kind of go through energy fast, and so having Energetic allows you to make sure you can use your abilities. Since we mentioned before, we run the Avalonian Cape. For those who don't know, you collect energy and then unleash it. There's a little 6-meter radius around you. It does a lot of damage and reduces the damage of enemies hit by 15% for 4 seconds. So it's great with engaging. So you kind of hit, you see it blows up, and then big burst of damage and helps you win trades. For our helmet, we are running the Cultist Cowl. We're running the main ability for Cultist Cowl, Inner Corruption. You reveal Inner Corruption on the target player for 4 seconds. If it is a player, which you would be using this for, it does 295 magical damage whenever the target does a normal attack or uses an ability, and this damage can't be reflected. So if you hop on someone and they're starting to do autos or abilities and you have this on them, they're just going to be constantly dealing damage to themselves for over the course of 4 seconds. This can tick up very fast if they are spamming abilities. However, you got to make sure you use this strategically. You don't want to, pop this on the enemy and then stun them with your W, because that negates the value of that. So you gotta use it strategically when you see they're gonna use it. It's very, very strong. I like to run aggression with this just to increase my damage and healing by 3.5%. There is an alternative you can run to Cultist Cowl that is probably better than Cultist Cowl, but it's a lot more expensive. So let me show you that. And I'm talking about the Cowl of Purity. The main reason is for the Avalonian Beam. You emit damage. It does 558 magical damage, huge burst of damage, and interrupts enemies' spell casting. So if they're trying to get something off, they're trying to mount or anything, this is really great for chasing, dealing damage, interrupting powerful things. So Very, very strong ability. It's very meta at the moment. However, it is a very expensive piece of equipment. So if you want the cheaper kind of one, you could do the Cultist Cow. You can see like the tier 8 estimated market value 1.59 million. Tier 8 Elder Cow Purity estimated market value is 3.5. So this is a lot more money. Again, this is all showing tier 8. You can run this build at lower tiers if you want. This is a really good build for tier 4.1 if you're just trying to have a lot of escape possibility. But just know that this is a very popular, very meta second option that a lot of people are using for the range, for the damage, for the interrupt. But because of that, it is a lot more expensive. Moving on into the chest, we're rocking Stalker Jacket. Probably, I don't know, the best jacket in the game. One of the best armor pieces. It's crazy. We run it for the electric field. 6 meter radius around you for 7.5 seconds. It deals 125 magic damage to all enemies within the field every 0.5 seconds. So a little quick math here. 125 every, so it's 250 damage every second, or a total of around 1875 magic damage for the whole duration. Now, of course, resistances are going to play a role in that, but you activate it and it just happens. You know, it just does damage. You know, it just, you don't have to do anything. You can auto, you can do other abilities while doing it. It just deals damage. Now, if you get stunned during it, obviously it's less effective, but the benefit of this is you just have it on. If you're fighting someone, 9 times out of 10, you're going to out DPS them just because you're able to do your other abilities on top of 1800 damage coming out if they stick in it. And of course, the other benefits is this might force them to use their mobility or boots to escape from this, which will give you an advantage in that fight if you don't have to. But this is just a very, very powerful jacket, very popular. Allows you to clear PvE faster if you need to, but in the PvP, it allows you to just really have freedom and mobility, which is a big key thing with this build, to be able to move around fast and not have to worry about it. The other popular kind of alternative for this jacket that's actually being used as a counter to this jacket, as I'll show you here, is Fey Scale Robe. This is a very popular, kind of similar to how the Avalonian headpiece is kind of an alternative, more expensive alternative, potentially. This one is also very popular. This is a very good counter to the Stalker Jacket for the points I mentioned before, that if you get stunned during it and you aren't able to do anything, it kind of is not as impressive because you can't cast your abilities while also just having that damage up. The Fey Scale Robe, with the wild magic, the Ring of Fire, it has a lot of options. Ring of Fire is really good, forcing players to flee. You're kind of trapping them, kind of utilizing that. And then the Storm Shield is the big one that people use a lot against Stalker Jackets, is for the stun, kind of making it, and it also, when you kind of stun them, it will increase your damage resistance. So like, you're not taking nearly as much damage from the Stalker Jacket when you stun them, and they also can't do other things with the Stalker Jacket. So it's a really good counter to this build, and specifically to Stalker Jacket. So if you want to run this instead with your build, you can do that as well. And then I'm running Quick Thinker with this. You can also run Swiftness or Balanced Mind. It's really up to you. I like Quick Thinker personally. I would probably say Balanced Mind if you just want more damage, but and a little more of this. But I like the increased cooldown a bit, just preference. And then lastly, we have Elder Scholar Shoes. You can do any kind of scholarship. The big thing, you want Energetic Sprint. You can do some other things, you know, some dashes, whatever you'd rather do that. I like Energetic Sprint for the movement speed and for the energy restoration, because again, you consume energy very fast. If I kind of show you, you know, a very simple combo, you can see I'm already at like half energy. And so as the fights, you know, occur, and as it happens, having Energetic Sprint to get that energy back up, the energetic attacks on the double blade kind of helps keep you alive, so be able to use all your stuff. So that's the build. That's what you're looking at. And yeah, we're going to hop into some clips of the build so you can kind of see how it looks and what it does. And yeah, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out this build. Enjoy it. Abuse it. And I will catch you all next time. Peace out.